Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under. And the transfer window is finally over. A very, very good one, I might add, for Celtic. But with that coming to end, the Celtic squad is now finally set in stone. So, of course, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the depth in Celtic's squad and whether it is enough or not enough to win Celtic the league and bring back Champions League football. But before we get into the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel, or you don't even have to, just consider it please, because it helps me and it supports the channel in so many ways, and I appreciate it if you do. So how this is going to work, I'll quickly, run over each position Celtic have and, the depth in each position. Then we're going to discuss whether that is enough to win the league. Simple as that. No more bugging around. Let's get into it. So Celtic currently have, in our first position, 4 designated first-team goalkeepers. That is Joe Hart, Connor Hazard, Vasilius Barkas, and Scott Bain. We'll talk about that in a bit. At left-back, now this is actually one of our most dense positions, surprisingly. Celtic have 5 options. They've got Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Monty Montgomery, Bolly Bolingoli, and also Josip Juranovic, who's proven he can actually play left-back. Obviously, he doesn't have a left foot, which is very disappointing, but still, he's conceded to be doing a job there. I don't know what I just said, but he can do a job there. As for the left-back position, I think Liam Scales should be our number 1 option going forward. I absolutely love the look of the lad. He's an absolute unit, and imagine him running up and down the left-hand side. Oh, absolutely terrorising every single other team in the Scottish Premiership. At the 2 centre-back spots, Celtic have the options of playing Welshie, Starfelt, Bitton, Liam Scales again, Dane Murray, I already said Near Bitton, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Uragide, and Chris Julian is still to return. I think for now, our 2 starting centre-backs should stick as Welshie and Starfelt. Obviously, if Cameron Carter-Vickers can push one of them out, that would be great to see. But when Chris Julian returns, I feel the starting centre-back should be Welsh and Julian. I think that is an absolute rock of a combination. Some people are still unconvinced on Julian. Personally, I think he's a great player. I think he's a great player and should always be starting for Celtic. We brought him in for 7 million. He needs to be... Some people think he still needs to prove his worth. I think we've seen his quality. He just needs to be doing this on a regular, consistent basis. At right back, Celtic have Tony Ralston and Josip Juranovic. Bit of an outlier in terms of depth, but in terms of quality, it's all there. Now, in the midfield roles, I'm combining all 3 positions here just as like a general sort of midfield sort of thing. So there is Kalmack, James McCarthy, Ismail Assoro, Liam Shaw, Near Bitton, Tommy Rogic, Ewan Henderson, David Turnbull, I was about to say Dean Turnbull, and then finally Kerr McEnroy. Now, I think we're okay for centre mid and CDM. I think we've got enough quality depth in that, but Cam is one that I need to talk about, but we're not going to do it now. We're going to keep going through these positions. I'll talk about the Cam and Tommy Rogic spot in a bit. So, left wing, Celtic have the option of playing Felipe Jota, that is our new signing. Felipe Jota, Mikey Johnston, who still has to return from injury. We also have the option of Kyogo if he's not playing up top at striker, and also James Forrest is seen to play on the left, so those are some options there. Then on the right-hand side, Liala Barda, Karamoko here. That's when he returns from injury. James Forrest again. And also Felipe Jota can play on the right-hand side as well. So a lot of depth in those 2 wing spots. I think Celtic are very covered there. And, they're young players, and I think the future's bright for Celtic's wings. In the last couple of years, our wingers haven't actually been proper wingers. We haven't had a proper winger, I don't think, since Scott Sinclair was at the club. And, it's really exciting nowadays to see wingers taking on the defence and absolutely trying to head for that goal instead of playing back every single goddamn time. And then finally, the most important spot at striker, Celtic have 3 options. They've got the availability of Kyogo, who I think personally should be our number 9 week in, week out. Always starting in that spot. We see how damaging he is. And yeah, honestly, there's no way I could ever say anyone else but Kyogo should be playing at striker. You've got Albin Ayeti, who appears to just be, bench warmer nowadays. He'll come on at the end, but I think his spot is even getting replaced now by new boy, Georgios Giacomakis. Now, Giacomakis has signed with us for 5 years, so there's a lot of potential for him to do well at this club. But as for now, I do think Kyogo is our number 9 striker, and it will take a lot to get Giacomakis to take over that role. But I do feel Celtic could strike a good tactic in having Kyogo damaging for the first maybe 65 minutes of a game, getting an early lead, getting maybe a 1 or 2 goal lead, and then bring on Giacomakis for that last period of the game and have him, because he's just such a big body. He's just built the guy. Just hold up that ball, play a very nice hold-up role, maybe bag a goal himself, but just absolutely put that game to bed and terrorize that defense while we let Kyogo have his rest. Because as we see, Kyogo puts his body on the line, puts everything on the line for however long he's on the field, whether that's the full 90 or 60 minutes. We need that player to come on and continue his damaging form and damaging personality, but also bring something different to shake up the defense. And I think Giacomakis could do that very well. But is this enough to win Celtic the league? Because something Ange really was striving for this season, and one that I talk about a lot, was quality depth in the squad. Now, what this means, right, is so the Celtic A team, of course, is the starters, the best players, but the Celtic B team should be nearly as good, if not as good as the A team. It's a bit like Man City, how you've got their 2 A and B squads, and they're just almost as good as each other. They're both lethal. That's what Ange is trying to achieve with Celtic here. And look, I have to be honest here, there are some positions that if we had to play a backup, I would be quite worried for, and I'd be quite worried and I wouldn't know what's happening. So, firstly, goalkeeper. Despite having 4 goalkeepers in the club, there's only one that myself and a lot of Celtic fans can agree on that we are happy to have consistently week in, week out, with Joe Hart. I believe in him. The backup, I'd want to see Connor Hazard as our backup because I feel he's got a big, big future with the club, and I hope he does stay with us. And look, but yeah, other than that, I'm not comfortable. If it's not Connor Hazard as a backup, even then I'm a bit shaky. But if we play Scott Bain or Vasilis Barkas, I will be shitting bricks. Now, the second position is centre attacking mid. Now, of course, we have the Wizard of Oz, Tommy Rogic, up top, and he's actually our only designated centre attacking midfield in the squad. Sure, we could move, David Turnbull up to play that role, but he isn't a cam. He's a box-to-box centre mid. And, Celtic dead set do not have a backup to Tommy Rogic. They do not have a designated backup. It's just I don't know why we don't. I don't know why when Christie was set to leave, Ange didn't go off and try and get a cam on loan at the least. Because we're very, very reluctant, it seems, to play Tommy Rogic all the time because we know he has fitness issues and, injury prone. It's just there's a lot of combining factors that just put into the fact that I'm so baffled as to why we don't have a backup cam. It's actually really worrying for me as a Celtic supporter. But obviously I'm going to trust Ange here. There must be a gem in the squad who can play cam that none of us know about. If Kerr McInroy plays cam, I don't think he does, but if he does, let me know. And I'm pretty sure Ewan Henderson's also a centre mid. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. And look, other than that, I do feel Celtic have so much quality and depth in their other positions. Like, people will say we only have 2 right backs, like we're in the mud there, but you have to remember Tony Rolster is playing out of his skin right now. He is the form right back in the country. And then you've got Josip Juranovic, who, might I add, just got man of the match this morning for Croatia in their 0-0 draw with Russia. So absolute props to him. Why would we even have to worry about right back? We've actually made the best signing, I think, in Josip Juranovic. And the fact he's a backup just shows how class Tony Ralston has been this season. They're both guns. I'm looking forward to it. But is this enough to win the league? Is this squad of players ultimately going to win us the league and get us into Champions League football? Personally, apart from the 2 positions that I see a lack in, I have no reason to believe that they can't. No reason to believe this whatsoever, because every player, now that the transfer window is done, every player in this team wants to play for Celtic Football Club. They want to play for the fans of Celtic Football Club. They want to play under Ange Postecoglou and his philosophy at Celtic Football Club. And they want to put their bodies on the line for those 3 things as well. They want to be here. They want to play good football. They want to win. And it's so promising now that we've got the players who are undecided and weren't fully committed to the club out of here. I'm much happier now. I feel the squad is going to benefit from this 100%. We've got money to put back into the squad. Jack Hendry, for example. Everyone wanted him to stay. We got 1.5 million for him from Oostende. And then we got an extra 2.5 million from a selling clause as he just got sold to Bruges. I'm so happy with that. We're getting more and more money just to put back into this squad. It is absolutely lovely business from Celtic. And, you know, now all we've got to pray for is that this international break goes well for all of our international boys. They all come back in one piece to the club. No injuries, no fitness issues, no COVID issues. Fingers crossed. Because despite playing Ross County on the 12th, you know, should be a pushover if you ask me. I'm pretty sure they're coming dead last time I checked. We have such a crucial Europa League match that in the 5 days after that. And it's not only just against Real Betis. Betis. It is against Real Betis in Spain at their home ground. It's going to be such a tough fixture for the boys, but it's such a crucial fixture for the boys and one we must win to start our Europa League campaign off on the right foot and show this year under Ange is fully in stride, because despite we lost 2 out of 2 games in our last 2 games, and you know, they were both disappointing. One, we still got through to the Europa League. The other, you know, forget about it. But we need to win. We need to get back into that winning format. I'm sure we'll do so against Ross County, but we need to get a win against a team that is quality. And Real Betis is one of those teams. They've just signed Hector Bellerin. He's still a class player. It's going to be a tough game, but one Celtic need to win and one that we're going to need our full squad there for. But that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me heaps. So until next time, hail, hail.